What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Snowcast, guys. I am here on the 17th podcast with one of... I don't even know... I forget how I met this guy right here, but let me tell you, guys, I'm so excited to have him on the podcast. EttinTheBreton, thank you for joining Snowcast Podcast 17. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. And I think we met... I think it was at the time when I was streaming Getting Master Angler in ESO.
Oh,
and
yep.
you were my neighbor in the ESO category. And I'm pretty sure I just gave you a raid, and then we just hit it off after that.
Dude, I gotta say, I've always loved your content, and it's not even because you were playing ESO at first. At first I was like, oh, a fellow ESO streamer, let me go watch him. You know, I always like to support people, and this is gonna sound weird, but I just dig your personality, like your vibe when you stream. You know, you have all these people who stream and they're like, welcome to the stream, guys, it's gonna be crazy tonight and we're gonna be flipping up and down, be sure to smash that donate button. And you're just like, hey guys, it's me, it's Ettin, hope you're having a great day. And you're just very, very chill. And I was like, you know what, I really appreciate that. He's very honest with who he is. You can pretty much see that from the beginning of the stream. And yeah, I was always in your corner, just helping any way I could. I love your content, so.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
But guys, Ettin, like I said, he is an Elder Scrolls streamer, but he's actually also a variety streamer. So, you know, the Snowcast isn't just the Elder Scrolls community. I actually want to have people on just from the Twitch community in general, you know, viewers, streamers, and anything in between. So Ettin, as we were talking a little bit before, Ettin, you've been, and it's okay if you don't want to talk about this, but you've been taking a little bit of a break from streaming.
Yeah, definitely. No, I do want to talk about it because I don't know. I've always thought that I was in kind of the perfect position to be, or to try out being a content creator, because I'm 25. I'm done with college. I'm just working a job to support myself, and then I have all this free time, right?
Yep.
You have 8 hours of sleep, and then 8 hours of work, and then 8 hours to
do whatever you want
with. And so it's I always want to try this out, but lately it's just been completely sucking the life out of me.
Oh.
Whenever I try putting myself out there, it's tough, man.
So that's, dude, I'm so excited to talk to you about this, and we can seriously go into great detail about this, because I've been exactly where you are, and I know exactly how you feel. There's this, for me, if I'm going to get my personal, what made me step away, I just got really, really addicted to looking at numbers. So I was looking at view count, I was looking at follower count, I was looking at subscriber count, I was looking at all these different things, and I was in the same boat you were in. I'm 25 in May. I just finished college. I'm like, okay, I got the spare time. I actually didn't have a job when I came right out of school, so I said, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to stream full time. I'm just going to try it. And it didn't work. I'm going to be flat about it. It just didn't work. Doesn't work for some people, and that's for a whole boatload of reasons. It's not one or two reasons.
Right. 100%.
So I got so into it that I was depressing myself. I would stream, but I wasn't having fun doing it. And so I was like, I need to step away. This is ridiculous. I'm having serious anxiety about streaming. And I took almost 9 months off. I just came back in March. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And from my side of things, I wasn't looking at numbers. I never, even from the beginning, I was like, I can't look at view count or anything like that. For me, it's I want to find a way to make content that I can enjoy making. But I kind of hesitate when I say that, because that sounds super cliche, and it doesn't really explain it.
No. But I actually get that, though. There's definitely I always watch back anything I create, and I'm usually not happy with it. I'm usually this is trash.
Yeah.
The last podcast I did, I had Kev do it on, and Kev do it. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's Kev do it. I have him on. And if you listen to the podcast, my volume is going through the roof, and he's so quiet, you have to max out to hear it. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, great opportunity, completely squandered. And it's damn it. So I totally get what you're saying, being hard on yourself.
Well, wait. Okay, first step. Let's do a quick. I'm gonna listen to the stream. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Yeah, I think we're at a pretty okay level.
I've been monitoring it. I've been looking at like my levels. You understand that? And I'm really, really watching out for this.
Yeah. So and that's just part of the whole process, right?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Learn from it, watch back.
But was that what was happening with you? Were you not liking the content you were creating, or was it just sort of you burnt yourself out?
Both. And like not liking the content I'm creating. It's like I kept getting in my head about like, okay, I want to play a game, right? Like, so I haven't played ESO.
Yeah, in a while.
Actually, in a couple years.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother thing. I would love to get back into it someday. But I've been playing lately Apex Legends, Rocket League, old school RuneScape.
Yep,
actually.
I saw that. Yep, I saw that.
And it's just hard for me to get past the fact that, like, okay, if I'm going to stream old school RuneScape, what does it take? Okay, download Streamlabs. Easy.
Done.
Set up the game capture, window capture of the game. And then I put my webcam on top of it, and I put my, volume or the audio input for the mic, maybe an alert box, event list.
All the good stuff.
The
bells and whistles.
Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds, and then it's just me playing a game. And I want to go beyond that, and I don't know how to. And
that's some deep shit, bro. But you're but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that. That is, what you just said, and don't take this the wrong way. Anyone with a couple $100 and a little motivation can do it.
Right.
And so now you have to think, all right, what makes me different? And to be honest with you, man, I struggle with that question. I haven't found out. This podcast is something that I have like branched out with and said, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to stream, but that's not going to be my main thing. My main thing is going to be this podcast, because regardless of if I want to play games, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even then, it's not like it still has room to grow, but
for sure. But I really like what you're doing with this podcast too, because it's like, think of content creation. We're creating something from nothing, and it's going to be there. And I don't know where I was going with that.
No, it's okay. No. But I understand. I do understand where you're coming from. It's tough because it's just even the podcast. Other people make great podcasts. It's this thing where you're trying to figure out, and I don't know if you have this, but I have this like fear of wasting time, and so I'm like, all right, am I wasting time with what I'm doing? And so that's another one. And that sounds really shallow, but I'm really being honest about that. I have these thoughts where I'm like, am I wasting time just sitting streaming all day? Like, could I be doing better things with my time? And so when you sleep for 8 hours and work for 8 hours, those third 8 hours are precious. Like, that's not something that I just kind of willy-nilly about. I want to spend time with family, want to spend time with my girlfriend, want to spend time like doing something outside, but it's like, okay, I'm going to dedicate time to streaming. Is it worth it? And that's why I stopped, because I finally like looked in the mirror and I'm like, it's not. So like for you, what was the tipping point? Because you were streaming, when's the last time you streamed?
A couple weeks ago, I think. I was playing, the last one I really remember was old school RuneScape. I was doing a mini game called Winter Tot. It's basically really quick fire making XP.
Okay.
That was weeks ago. And I mean, lately the tipping point has just been work, and like those 8 hours that we get for free time, it's not even 8 hours, right?
No,
like
not.
I need an hour and a half, 2 hours to get ready in the morning, have my coffee.
Yep. Decompress when you
Twitter,
get home from work.
Clean up. Yeah, that. Make dinner. Do dishes,
clean
laundry, everything, and then you get like what, an hour and a half, 2 hours at the end of the day.
And it's like streaming feels like a job, though. It absolutely feels like a job where you're like, am I actually? I when I play a game and when I stream and play a game, it's two different things for me. It's not the same.
Yeah.
I sit differently. I talk differently. I mean, it is all a different feel. So I totally get that. And maybe it was just like maybe a lack of motivation and being tired. If you don't mind me asking, let's get to know Ettin a little bit. So,
sure.
What did you go to school for, and what do you do for work now, if you don't mind?
No, I love it. So I went to university for mathematics. Originally chemical engineering, just because I didn't want to be undecided.
Yep, fair enough.
I wanted to pursue being a high school teacher. And I got through all of my classes, and in the student teaching semester, when I'm actually in a high school, like getting certified to teach, I couldn't handle it. Like I knew I wasn't going to sleep ever, because it was all I could ever think about. And I would spend, teachers have to spend so much time preparing for each day.
Yep.
And I was like, I can't do this. So I dropped out. And thankfully, I had enough credits to actually graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics.
Okay.
No teaching certification. So I have a degree on my wall over there.
There we go.
But I don't care about it. I don't want to use it for anything.
Oh shit! I do it.
Which is miserable. So for since the first week of January this year, I was working at a pizza shop.
Okay.
This is like, my life takes so many turns lately. I literally walked out of that job on Friday.
You just left it?
Literally. So I don't have a job right now. So I'm like up in the air about everything again. And streaming is like way far away.
Yeah, okay.
Until I can get to a stable situation. That's hopefully when I can go back to it. But
dude, we're gonna get deep on this podcast. I can already tell. So buckle up. I have a couple questions.
Sure.
With your college, first of all, I know why we hit it off, because my best friend at college, is a math teacher right now in high school.
Yeah.
So I know the rigorous, I know how a teaching degree goes, and it's a very big jump to being a student teacher.
Yeah.
So that's not easy. That's not easy. And high school kids, are fucking brutal, bro. They are animals. They eat you up and spit you out.
I was student teaching for 2 weeks, and then, after class, this kid says, "Hey, I found you on Facebook," and I was like, "What? No, don't. That's weird. Don't do that."
Dude, you gotta be built for it. And dude, I couldn't do it. I actually thought about being a teacher, but then my teacher said, he told me about that, and I'm like, no, I can't do that.
No. And I'm really glad, actually, even though I very much care about the situation, we need high school teachers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And one of my buddies that I had the same classes with, he is a teacher, and he's at a local small school, and he has 5 different preps right now, which means he's teaching 5 different subjects, which means every day he has to prepare different lessons for 5 entire
different subjects.
Yeah, every day. And he had a newborn over Christmas break, and he was newly married, and I was like, dude, no, what are you doing?
Life moves so fast for some people. It's
I need
crazy.
to hide.
Yeah, put the hood on.
Need to be a hermit.
Dude, that is, first of all, that's crazy. And you know what the thing is, dude, don't beat yourself up about not being able or not wanting to do the teaching thing, even though we need them. People need doctors, people need nurses. That doesn't mean everyone wants to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy. It's good to figure that out and then not, go all the way and finish it up. I wanted to ask though, because I was in a very similar situation where I went to university, I got a finance degree. But I hate finance, I hate math. But I did it because my dad was like, well, do you want to make money? And, and it was I'm like, I guess, I don't know. And I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I actually did get a job in my field, but I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I wake up every morning super early and look at a computer all day. Then I come home and the content creation is what I truly enjoy. I don't hate my job, but I don't wake up and go, can't wait for work. Some people. So was the major you went into, was it kind of not forced, but was there a pressure coming from somewhere, or even just a stigma from society of oh, this is a good major, so I'll go for this?
Yeah, I was voted most likely to succeed in high school.
Oh gosh, that's the worst. I was not.
So, that's not a direct, I don't know, correlation or causation or whatever.
Yeah, no doubt.
But that kind of tells you a little bit about just the expectations that I felt from people. And I can remember talking to my parents, like saying right after high school, like, I don't actually want to go to college for a minute. And then I always thought it was like I should. And I always thought I should, right? That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody thinks like
they should. Yeah.
So I did. And it was hell. I was working like 15 to 30 hours per week trying to pay bills and shit.
Oh, were you working while at school?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't do that. God bless you.
Yeah, it was insane.
No, dude. I think there's like a harsh truth to society that college isn't for everyone. I'm not saying that it's anything for you, but I'm just thinking outside. Like, I have friends that are in very similar situations, and I don't know if you're one of these people, and it's okay if you're not. But I had people. I have a friend who was most likely to succeed in high school.
Yeah.
And it was because everything to him came so easily. Like, he didn't have to, he didn't have to study. He didn't have to do homework. He didn't have to do any of that. But then when he got to college, it kind of was like a little bit of a, oh shit, I actually need to do work. And he said to me, I don't know how to do it. He goes, I don't know how to study. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, everything I just understood, now I don't understand it. And I don't know if that was like something similar for you, or if it could be something different, but maybe I'm being speculative.
I don't think I definitely struggled with the same things. But what makes me angry is that, like, I was told and I was expected to go through college, and then I get done with it, and I don't even want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. There are no companies that I care about enough to give my time to. Or
no, that's understandable.
Even if I did, I'd have to go into some entry-level position and then work that entry-level position that I don't care about for however many years, on the hopes that I could eventually get the promotion. It's like,
no, it's true.
That's disgusting to me. So for me.
No, you seem like a very free spirit, and that's not a bad thing at all. And the thing too about you, it's funny because I never expected any of that to be you, because I guess the persona, and I'm not, again, it's not a bad thing. I'm just talking from a viewer to someone. You seem like someone who's very confident in everything. And I appreciate you pulling the wall back, because this is something a lot of people deal with, and this is not, like, you're not alone in this struggle. This is something that's a little bit, it's like almost universal with our generation, and just with the pressure that's put on us to go to school, come out, get a job, all that stuff. That's not, it's not a joke. I guess the thing is, and this is probably a big question, but are you thinking maybe go back to school into something you're interested in? Or are you thinking entrepreneurship of some sort, or going to get another job, or like, do you have any ideas on what the plans are? And if not, bro, I don't know what's going on tomorrow for me, so like, trust me, no judgment.
No, it was funny. I have this joke with my hairdresser, that every time I go in, like every month and a half, that I have like some big life event to tell her about. So this past fall semester, I was basically handed a graduate student teaching position.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my department chair had this opening, and he knew I was still in town. He was like, hey, this is available if you want it. And I was like, sure, I'll try it out. And I did that for almost 12 weeks, and then I was like, this is not for me. Can't handle it. Nope, I'm out of here. So I don't think I'm going back to school. If I do, maybe it would be for teaching certification. But
is there anything else you would be interested in when you go to school? Because like for me, I was like kind of into music, I was kind of into game design, I was kind of into some sort of marketing. Is there anything else that like piques your interest? Or, and if not, dude, school kind of sucks, so
yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Well, all right, I got it, dude. I got it. There's a couple other things I really want to talk to you about. The first one's kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So when I have people on the podcast, I do a lot of research. So I like to get to know the person who I'm talking to. I like to get to know their content. So I rewatch some of your old streams, just listen to them while I was at work, listen to commentary, listen to what you talked about, watch some of your old YouTube videos. You're not too bad at ASMR, my friend.
Oh, really?
You are not too bad at it. As a guy, as someone who, and I think there's a really negative stigma around it. As someone who suffered from very bad anxiety for a long time. When I got my job, it's very high pressure. My boss was really hardcore. I didn't know what I was doing because college didn't really prep me for it. And I would have these anxiety attacks, and I had to take sleeping medication. It was so bad I couldn't sleep, especially on Sundays into the next week. Oh, it was bad.
Oh my God, no! The Sunday scaries.
Oh my God, dude, it's ridiculous. It gets better. I can say that, but I mean, for a year I was crippled on Sundays, and I got really into listening to ASMRs, and it was usually like stuff like handbooks or gameplay or something. And so I was watching your content. I was going through your content, and I saw he did an ASMR. You have a pretty good mic, my dude. I'm not gonna lie. It was not bad at all. Are you? So what gave you the idea to do that?
So I've been listening to ASMR to go to sleep for like 2 years now. What is it? It's
Dang.
2020.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 years or more than that. So I like every night I fall asleep to, do you know Frivolous Fox ASMR?
I feel like I do know that, yes.
She pretty much made ear eating famous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've been a part of her community for a while. I actually met her at TwitchCon this past semester. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And
keep going.
So yeah, I've been listening to ASMR all the time to relax, to fall asleep. When I start having like a panic attack or something, sometimes that helps if nothing else works. And I don't know, I finally bought this Blue Yeti microphone, and Frivy uses the Blue Yeti in many of her videos because it has the stereo option.
Yep.
You can do left and right. And I got this mic and I was like, might as well try it out. Like, I feel like part of my personality, thinking about it now, is that like there are so many different things that I try and like get obsessed with and learn about it, try it out, and then I don't know, I'm like always searching for that thing that could be my thing.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say that. No, absolutely. Go look at my YouTube channel. I've done skits. Yeah. I've done guitar videos. I've done football commentary. I've done podcasts. Yeah. Like I've done ESO build videos. Like anything I'm into, I'm gonna give content creation a try, because it's like, all right, I like it, which means I'm passionate about it. Yeah. But I find myself, I'm actually not passionate about it. I'm just into it. So what happens is I'll start something, and then once I'm out of it, I don't want to do it anymore. And that's what's beating me up really, really badly. So, but
for sure,
it's not easy, dude. It's definitely not easy. But your ASMR video is pretty good. If you're feeling up to making another one, I mean, the thing about YouTube is you have to make like 100 videos before anyone actually starts watching. So it takes a shit ton of time before you see any output. But let's talk about TwitchCon for a second. So you went last year. How was it?
Literally the best weekend of my life.
Really?
Like, 100%. I met all of my favorite people.
Damn, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I met Sequisha, Tadriel, and Munition. I could just name off a bunch of names.
Were they all nice? Like when you met them, were they were all pretty good people?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Even the people that you don't think would be nice people were nice people.
Huh. You know, here's the thing, and I'm gonna admit something right now, and it's a little embarrassing, but it's true.
Okay. It's okay.
So, I don't want to go to TwitchCon unless I'm a Twitch partner.
Okay.
Isn't that you know what it is though? It's because
fear of missing out.
The fear of missing out. Also, it's I'm a very competitive person. So when I see, and that's my problem with Twitch, is I use it for the wrong reasons, and I know that because I went to PAX, and Twitch had all these little special rooms partners could go in, and I was like, fuck. I was like,
yeah.
It's just like, it's so, I told my friends I would go to any of those again on two conditions. Either I'm a partner, or I've left content creating, and I'm just a consumer. Because if I'm a consumer, then, you know, that's what I'm going to talk about. I do have to give a special hi, though, to Kev Do It.
Kev Do It.
Kev,
no.
I need to say one thing. Don't listen to our last podcast, because I kept your audio so low for some reason and mine so high. It sounds like I'm screaming into a mic, and you're in the opposite side of a room. I flipped it on us. But thanks for watching, buddy. I appreciate you. But that's awesome, dude. And you know what? I'm not saying that in a bad way about TwitchCon at all, because it's probably a great time. But I just get, and you know what? Sometimes I leave very motivated. When I left PAX, I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, this is gonna be
for sure.
what I do. And I'm sure maybe you felt a little bit of that too.
Definitely. Because before TwitchCon, I was working a different job in food service, and I was just getting bogged down because, you know, everybody hated going to work, and it just like was a crappy work environment, and I couldn't even see that from the outside. And like I said earlier, it's like I think I have always thought up until recently that I've been in like the perfect position to try out being a content creator, if all I do, you know, is work a job and then have time to stream.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But like the job I was supporting myself with was just bogging me down.
Yep.
But luckily I made enough money saved up, and just I knew I had to go to TwitchCon. Did it. And then after that, yeah, just like you said, I was definitely feeling
a bit of inspiration.
You know, more inspiration. Like by the time December rolled around and I had like gotten out of that job, like late December through January is when I like really got back into it.
No, yeah, for sure, man.
But the thing about being a partner at TwitchCon, okay.
Yeah, lay it on me. I've never been, so I wouldn't know.
So I don't know, I didn't feel like I missed out on anything as an affiliate going to TwitchCon, because if you look back, I don't know, Ammunition tweeted out how they were serving drinks improperly at the partner party. So like, what do you get if you're a partner that affiliates don't? You get to go to the partner party.
Yep.
You get to go into the partner lounge on the convention place.
Yep.
Which I guess okay, so I saw, do you know Sacriel 42?
I do not.
He's a big Escape from Tarkov streamer.
Okay.
Sponsored by Intel. He does.
Oh, so he's
pretty up there.
Yeah. Okay, he's huge.
I ran into him, and like he was going to get his first tea of the day at the partner lounge. So I guess that's a cool thing. But like the partner party isn't even worth it, right? Because they don't ever know what they're doing.
Yeah,
no.
No.
It's always like loud as hell, and everybody complains about it on Twitter afterwards.
But see,
like,
I'd love to complain, so I'd have even more fun.
Well, sure. That's
I'm just kidding.
I guess you could take a picture of how they're serving drinks. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't. Dude, honestly,
like,
when it happened, I was so out of everything that I wasn't following it.
Oh, sure, because that was during your break.
Yeah, and I mean, I detached, dude. Like, I wasn't following anyone. Yeah. I just had to get away, because if I followed something, I started to think about it again, and it was almost an addiction. So I started dating my girlfriend, and she saw my streaming, and she said to me, what you're doing seems like an addiction. Like, because we both have family members who have suffered with it, and she said, you remind me of those family members right now. The way you get angry about it, the way you feel like you have to do it, it looks like it's an addiction. And that's when I was like, holy shit, I need to back it up here.
Yeah.
But...
And that's good that you recognize that, for sure.
It took a lot, dude. I mean, I probably wasted 4 or 5 months making really, really negative content because I thought I had to.
But like, I don't think you say negative content. I think there's still something important about creating something from nothing.
No, yeah, for sure. It was more what I was bringing, like the positive. Like, my attitude wasn't right. I love coming to a stream pissed off. Like, people love that, but I don't like coming to a stream pissed off about the stream. That's not healthy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being pissed off about everything else, hell yeah, I'll do that in a second. But coming about the stream it's not like the best call for me. It's gonna lead to more problems than anything. Yeah. But you had some topics you wanted to talk about, and I wanted to give you, if there was anything you wanted to bring up. Let
me look. So there was something. Okay. So
coronavirus.
No. Okay, I guess one thing I want to talk about is like with ESO.
Let's go.
I haven't played it for years, and I'm thinking back to what I enjoyed doing at the time, and it was really important for me when I did pick it up. It was like a summer in between semesters for me. I was like doing research, so I had a lot of free time. I had this new computer. Did you ever watch Zombieland?
Zombieland. Oh, yes, yeah.
So in the beginning of that movie, when that came out, I remember seeing that in theaters, and he talks about how he's playing World of Warcraft for 2 weeks straight, and there's like Code Red Mountain Dew everywhere.
Yep.
And he's like raiding with his buddies. Like, ever since I saw that in that movie, for some reason, I've wanted to have that experience. I never have, even though I've like had the opportunity. I could play World of Warcraft if I wanted to. But anyways, for some reason that got in my head. Like, I really wanted to, you know, find a guild and contribute to that guild and do fun things with the guild. And so I did for a while. Like, I found
in ESO.
In ESO, right? They're called the Tamriel Royal Guard.
Oh,
Shouts out to ESO Maya. She's the guild leader.
Okay.
But that was a lot of fun. It was like a social guild, and you know, I'm so glad that I found that right away. Like, I think I was in can't even, it's been so long I don't really remember the zones. The DC main zone.
Stormhaven.
Yeah. So I was just like in the zone chat, like, hey, looking for a social guild, and then she whispered me immediately. But it was like a thing to not feel so lonely, because I think there's a lot of ESO commentary about how the zone chats get kind of toxic.
Right? Yeah. Go into like any of the Ebonheart ones, and Jesus, you're in for a treat.
So if you're playing the game and that's all you see, and that's your only interaction with other people, and then you do these quests solo and stuff, that's makes it feel kind of lonely for me. So I'm glad that I found that social guild, so that there were always people I could talk to, and I loved running like world bosses. I started, I wonder if they still do it. Every Sunday morning we would go out fishing together as a group.
Oh, really?
Which is super enjoyable. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because if you know, when you fish with other people at the same fishing spot, you get a better chance of catching those rare ones.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was really fun.
No, yeah, I mean, that's the thing with ESO. You know, people come in and they say, should I buy this game? And I always tell them, absolutely. But you need to find people to play with, because if you're just going to quest, go play Skyrim modded, because it's better. I'm just being honest. Because, and I've gotten it down. I know exactly why. There's not enough choice in ESO. ESO, it feels like you're reading a lore book. And when they do give you choices, it's at the very end, and they bold it in red, and you don't care by that point. But in Skyrim, when you meet someone, you have 4 different options, and that makes it feel like you're role-playing. Like, if I was playing an assassin, there was literally a remain silent. And then the NPC would keep going. Like that is what makes questing fun. And then on top of that, the gameplay is stupid easy for questing. For higher level players, there's no challenge. So it's like, okay, I get no choice, and I don't have a challenge. So it is just a face roll that I have to listen to. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the Fudge Muppet YouTube channel. They're a lore channel. I just listen to them. I'm like, I'm going to find exactly whatever this is about, and I'm just going to listen to it while I sleep, while I'm in the shower, while I'm eating dinner, any of those things. Because the questing in ESO, if you're doing it with someone, though, is fun. And you're talking about lore, and you're getting into the story, then it's fun. But just by yourself, modded Skyrim people, I swear, the modding community on Skyrim does enough that you don't need to quest in ESO. Not that the quests aren't getting better. They are. Like, the Elsewhere quest line I've heard is amazing. I haven't done it, but Lotus of Doom, who was on here a couple podcasts ago, vouched for it.
Okay.
And then Greymoor is supposed to be amazing, the new one coming out. So
I am so out of the loop. Like, I've heard those names, but the last thing I remember doing in ESO was the Sigic Order grind of a quest line to get that one ultimate that is like
skill.
Tracer's ult.
Yep. I still haven't done that.
So I did that, but I was just listening to podcasts while I was just mindlessly going through finding it. Excuse me.
No, go for it. I'm the genius who doesn't bring a drink to the podcast. So yeah, it's okay though. It keeps me honest. No, I mean, for me, I don't even quest anymore in the game, which is really sad. When I play, it's really just end game content. That's all I want to do, because now I have a group of people I play it with, and that makes it more fun. But if you're not going to do that, then you're absolutely shooting yourself in the foot. So.
Yeah, and I guess the reason I wanted to bring this up is, like, what my issue with ESO was that I could never figure out how I could stream it and be happy with it.
Huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Like,
keep going.
Because I could, but that was just because of the way that I played it. Like I wasn't ever into doing dungeons. I never had a group of people that would be able to do the vet content, and I wasn't really willing to put in the time to be able to do that. So what I would do is I would do the quests that were just kind of like, you know, they don't take too much of your attention to get through them, like you said.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
But I always like enjoyed the voice acting. I really appreciate that. Like I
so
don't want to
good.
hate on ESO.
No,
like,
no.
For sure.
I'm just known for it.
That's okay. All good.
But no, you're absolutely right. The voice acting is, and you know what? I'm spoiled because I've never played another MMO even a 9th or 10th as hard as ESO. So I've never like done that end games, or I've never appreciated the little things ESO does, and fully voice acted is appreciated as shit. So
yeah, I was a RuneScape kid.
Yeah,
and,
so yeah.
I mean, I'm playing RuneScape now.
You're still a RuneScape kid, Ettin.
I'm still a RuneScape kid. But they aren't. Well, I think the most up-to-date version of the game is voice acted somewhat. But I appreciated that about ESO. But I don't really want to stream me questing, right? Because then I don't know.
That's tough unless you're a role player. If you're a role player, then
right.
yeah, people will definitely get into it. But if you're not a role player, then it is very hard.
And I don't want to put anybody down if they're thinking about streaming ESO. And I don't, if like that's how people stream it, it's just like for some reason, I don't know. Like I believe that there is a way to stream it and make it enjoyable and entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful. I could just never get there. So I was like, that was one of the ideas I wanted to bring up. Like how do you even stream ESO?
Oh, God. Well, ESO, no, that's a great question. That's a really, really good question. I think that's the approach smaller content creators need to take, because ESO is such a massive game, it almost has sub-communities. Mm-hmm. So I think of people like Fangrush, where Fangrush is playing hardcore PvP, and Jesus Christ, he's good at it. And everyone just sits and watches him kick ass.
That was one of the things I could never get into.
And it is a sub part of the community, but geez, he has it locked down. Then you have...
And T the Khajiit too. I remember watching her PvP streams months and months ago, and I really enjoyed the way that she was able to stream the game.
Yeah, T is like an enigma when it comes to Twitch, because she hit the ground running and just grew. And she really struck a chord with the ESO community, which is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Then you have people like Kyle Dempster in the ESO community, where Kyle Dempster is 150% about community. Mm-hmm. When you watch Kyle stream, no matter what he does, it's community based. He has people in party with him. He's talking about something. He's so driven for his community. You have people like myself, where it is all about ESO endgame stuff. So I have a team, and they're almost like characters on the stream, where Sammy, Split, and Alex, people know them. Alex gets messages on Xbox all the time of people who recognize the name and send him a message. And then he sends it to me and says, "Stop showing my gamer tag on stream." And he's joking. He just likes to give me a hard time. But Sammy, I've had people on this podcast ask me about what Sammy's like when the cameras aren't on, because she's so like belligerent, but she's exactly the same way. So, and that's sort of the approach I've taken. Is when you come and watch my stream, we've started doing two things. If I have my full team, we're gonna do end game content, and we help people with it. So we run through it and we kind of just have a good time and help. But then we also do lore podcasts. Or lore streams. So I have Sammy and her boyfriend Split, and we actually run around and do zone stuff, and then just talk about lore, and like we have different debates and conversations. But when it comes to if anyone who wants to stream ESO, including yourself, you just have to think about who you're trying to appeal to, and also have to think about who's also doing it. When I think about myself, there are other streamers bigger than me, like J-Dub or Bert Firkins. I think of them. Where they also do a lot of endgame content. So I think, okay, what are they doing? How are they like changing their style? And then I honestly feed off them a little bit. So like those are like a little bit of market research and like kind of look into what you want to do, but then also what differentiates yourself. So
Right.
it's not easy. And with ESO coming back to it, the thing that's been the hardest pill to swallow is that there are a lot of big content creators on ESO now. There was a time I was streaming ESO in 2015. I was the third person on the page with 10 viewers. I was the third biggest streamer with 10 viewers.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Now I am 55 with 10 viewers, which is great because the game should grow. The work ZeniMax puts into it, it's awesome.
Right.
But as a content creator, you're like, maybe this isn't the place because people, the first tip you get from a lot of content creators is find a community where you can really grow. So,
yeah, and that's wild because like the last growth that I saw was playing Jump King, because when that was popular in late December last year or like early this year, because that was a category that wasn't as saturated, and there were people that wanted content creators to stream this game because they were like obsessed with it. And so I did that. Like I just had like the last time when I was actually able to put energy into streaming was when I just had the idea of, okay, I got to beat Jump King, and I did it. But like, I don't want to be a Jump King streamer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
That would be like, I'm a little bit of a masochist, I guess, because I was a math major, right? But I'm not that much of a masochist.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And that was like my whole name, my whole brand is EttinTheBreton.
Yeah, it's
like,
a little ESO heavy.
When I went to TwitchCon, like it's reversed, but like I have a business card, and it's
damn,
like,
with your emotes and stuff on it.
Yeah,
that's pretty freaking legit, dude.
And it's always been like, I like my name EttinTheBreton because it's kind of like
it rhymes, it's catchy, easy to remember.
Hopefully it's memorable.
Yeah,
right? That's what I wanted it to be. And at the time when I made that, I was thinking like, wow, just like you said, ESO is going to be a growing category. It's going to be big.
Yeah.
I remember like the night when you made your first episode of this podcast, I was like, this is going to go somewhere. This is going to grow. It's going to be good. You're going to have awesome people like Kev Do It on. And
yeah, we had
and like I could recognize that there was a lot of opportunity. And like if you go to my channel, you'll see the channel headers are like little snippets of screenshots from ESO.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, yeah,
like,
you got it.
Why do I like why? You ever think about branding and like?
Oh, dude, all the time. It was
like, why did I choose this?
No, it was a thought. Me and my brother, we started Snowstorm Studios, and I had a different name. I forget what it was now, but it was Elder Scrolls related, and my brother kept saying, dude, ESO is not going to be a game that's around forever. You cannot stick your name to the game.
Yeah.
And so he actually picked the name Snowstorm Studios. It wasn't me. And the funny thing is, everyone calls me Snowstorm. Snowstorm Studios was supposed to be a label. It's supposed to be like a Snowstorm Studios production, and then like the channel wouldn't have just been me, but it's just everyone else who I started it with kind of dropped it.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it. So people call me Snow, and I'm like, that's not my name. That never was like, it was, I get it. Like, oh, hey, look, it's Snowstorm because it's one person, but it was supposed to be like a group. But absolutely,
Gotcha.
And there might be, I mean, Ettin, I think you could still, I like the name EttinTheBreton, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I like it too. Thank you. And
So-
like since then, I've learned that Breton means so many more things. Like apparently, if you are from Brittany, France, you are a Breton.
Hey, well, there you go.
Or there's like a band that has the name Breton. There's like a cracker company, I guess, but I don't know what that would have to do with streaming at all. But it's like
There's more
thankfully
meanings.
It's like right.
Do you ever
So
see?
maybe,
Yeah. Do you ever see yourself coming back to ESO? You can be honest. Because
I would love to. I like the idea of coming back to it, and there are people that I miss, and I like, man, hanging out in the ESO live streams was so much fun for me.
great communities.
I'm so glad that we have Gina Bruno and Jessica Folsom.
Yeah, God, they are awesome.
Wonderful people. And there was a time when I was active on the ESO forums too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
But,
yeah.
like, and we were talking earlier about how we like pick up something, learn it, get obsessed with it for a bit,
And then drop it.
Drop it, move on. And it's what's maddening to me is when nothing seems fun, right?
Oh,
and part of that's depression.
Yeah, I was going to
Part of
say that's what
like,
it is. As someone who
seeing
suffered from
something-
depression, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, when you no longer enjoy something, or when you no longer get enjoyment out of something. And that's what was driving me crazy today. Like, I didn't want to play anything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play Apex Legends. I didn't want to, like, I've been doing this aim trainer to get my aim better. It's called like Kovac 2.0, the meta or something. It's like a bunch of targets, and you can
Damn.
yeah, it helps you. You can like do all these different kinds of tutorials and training sessions to get better at FPS games. So I've been trying to do that in the hopes that I get better at Apex Legends, because a lot of my favorite streamers stream that game, and I'm able to play that with them on their streams. And that's been what's
been keeping you going.
Yeah, that is what has been fun for me lately. But then I just like, it drives me crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
I have days like today.
Yeah, no. I've suffered from the same thing. I mean, there was a point I didn't like video games anymore. I was like, wow, video games aren't even my passion. Like,
oh my god.
Like, and imagine that, but it's true. Like, there's like when I have people on, and I'm like, so what games are coming out? And they'll name them, and I'm like, yeah, probably won't play them. Like, I play ESO. I play Madden in my spare time, and that's it. Like, that's it. Maybe the occasional Civ game with, like, my brothers, but, like, that's it. And it's like, wait, I'm actually, like, I tell people I'm not into video games. Like, I have friends who just need the newest game. No, I don't need the newest game. I just like to play what I like to play, and it's usually very select few of games.
Gotcha.
So there's definitely a realization, as I don't know about you, but I mean, I was obsessed with video games when I was young. I mean, I put hours into Halo, I put hours into Minecraft, I put hours into Skyrim, I put hours into Elder Scrolls, I put hours into so many different games, and then I like get out of it, and I'm like, I actually don't really like games anymore. I like ESO, and like that, I like ESO for so many more reasons than just the game. So I don't even know if I actually like the game. I just like ESO, but yeah, no, and maybe that's the realization you're going to come to at some point, is maybe you're just not into games as much as you used to be.
Yeah, I can remember there was a time when my GPU crapped out on me for a while, and that was difficult to deal with, trying to get the money for a new GPU. I got it eventually, but I was telling my boss about it. And he said to me, like, you know what, maybe you just have to grow up. And I was like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, no.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It's a scary thought. Me and my brothers, we're all very close in age. My younger brother John is only he's 23, and then my other brother is 21. So we're all really close in age. So we're all going through like the same stuff, and so like we'll talk to each other. And none of us play games anymore. It's crazy, and it's sad. It's a sad realization to come to, but. I mean, the thing I can say is, taking a real break, Ettin, is actually a really healthy thing to do, and just disconnect for a little bit. And I don't know, I spent a lot of time with just friends and family, and I really just tried to surround myself with people instead of like sort of sitting in seclusion, which sometimes you have to. I mean, I remember my senior year of college, I was alone all the time. So I get that, but just taking that break, and then the day I knew I wanted to stream again was when I was like, I just kind of want to log on to ESO. And I was like, oh wait, the fact that I want to log on to ESO means it's not about streaming, so I'm good to stream. And then I started doing it again. And now I only do it twice a week. I do one podcast. I'm actually doing 3 podcasts this week though because of scheduling. But I usually do one podcast. Gosh. I do one podcast a week, and I content create 3 out of the 7 nights for an hour to 2 hours, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I live with my girlfriend. We have our cat. I have my job. And there's so many other things I'm focusing on that it's not always about the stream. So I'm not thinking about it. So I'm just like, I get to stream. Great. So that, I guess, is some bit of advice I can give. But it sucks. And I know it sucks. And a million other streamers know it sucks.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on the list? We kind of got ESO. That was the last one on my list.
So I don't know how we're doing for time.
Dude, we're actually already almost at time, but we can keep going.
No way.
Yeah, we got about like 10, 15 minutes left. Isn't that crazy? Okay. But Ed, here's the thing. 100% you're going to be on again. So
I do have one thing. So, like, this is something that's been bothering me for
Let's
a long
go.
time. And it goes along with the idea of, like, I never figured out how to stream ESO for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it also goes along with, there was some other connection that I just made that you're talking about. But I don't even know how to describe this, but I have some urge to be the best at something.
Yep. Oh, Jesus
And if I'm
Christ,
gonna
yeah.
do something, I want to do it well.
Yep.
And that's been something that I've learned that's always been in the back of my mind my entire life. Like growing up, I started playing RuneScape when I was 8 years old. And seeing the leaderboards of like the top players, the people that did everything, the people that were the best at the game. Sometimes you'd see them and they'd walk around the game like they were a celebrity with like groups of people following them through the villages. I've always wanted to be the best at something, but I have that along with that obsession of picking up something, dropping it, moving on to the next thing, and never finding something to stick with.
No,
you see how
absolutely.
that conflicts
No,
a little bit?
Absolutely. And here's the thing, and this is the truth I've had to come to, and this is a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Take this wherever you want, but I guess the thing I had to come to grips with is I'll never be the best, so I might as well just have as much fun as I can. And that sucks, but it's like a huge weight off your shoulders. Like for me, this podcast could have 5 viewers for the rest of its existence. It could have 5,000. I'm going to enjoy myself with the guest, and that's all that really matters. And coming to that is hard.
Yeah.
But it's almost because you're going to lose the passion of whatever you're doing and trying to be the best. And it sucks. Now, some personalities, I think, can do it. And maybe you're one of those people. For me, I just realized I'm not. I'm never going to be the best. But, like, you don't have to be the best from another streamer talking to a streamer. Your personality and the way you stream it doesn't matter what game you're playing. Like, when I was watching you play RuneScape, I was just as enthralled as I would be if you were playing ESO. There wasn't he's not playing the game I like, I'm going to dip. And like I've noticed with myself, it's very similar. I can play anything, and the same cast shows up, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I'm here to see snow." I'm like, "Okay, so maybe it's not the game." Now with ESO, I just get more traffic because the name is kind of recognized. But I think there's some realization of you'll never be the best. Always do the best you can. There's never don't do the best you can, but don't get lost in the results of what you're trying to be the best at. Yeah. And that is some pretty generic bullshit Pinterest advice, but good. It helps me, and it helps me make content now. So when you do come back, kind of just keep in the back of your head. Another great thing, actually, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have goals set up on the side, and my goal would be: don't look at viewers, don't get mad about losing, don't get this, don't get this, and it was just like a constant reminder while I'm streaming: don't get lost. So that's a good one too. And I forget who told me that. Someone bigger than me gave me that piece of advice, and it helped a lot.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
But doesn't that make you curious? Like, what is the mindset of the people that are at the top?
Yeah.
That, have their thing. They have their game that, they're never gonna drop. They're never gonna get tired with. I mean, you can think of people in the ESO community or any category you want. They're like, I could name names, but
but I absolutely understand what you're saying. And as someone, and I'm gonna flex a little bit here, but as someone who has had pretty in-depth conversations with Kev, Ninja614 is someone I've talked to pretty heavily. Those guys attribute it to hard work and a little bit of luck. Kev said what he did was the way he broke out was a little bit lucky. Now, he has a skill. His editing is phenomenal.
Definitely.
He spends 12 hours on one video. And it's like, okay, if you're going to spend 12 hours on a video, I can't do that. That's an endurance thing. And then Ninja just said, he was just very passionate, and he just kind of came in the community at the right time. And, Ninja has a niche. He is a older, charismatic guy with a giant beard, a motorcycle guy. And he says,
and amazing dance moves.
Yeah, and he said to me, I'm just a dancer, or I'm just a biker playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's sometimes maybe less is more.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the thing. And also, there is a little bit of, to streaming, there's a little bit of a grind, you know? The basics heed results. Like, I'm just going to be flat with you right now. Like, I don't stream on Monday. I haven't broken 10 viewers, but it's because no one knows I stream on Monday. You know what I'm saying? But Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday is my schedule.
Okay.
And because of that, there'll be more people. And there's a
Right.
truth to Twitch, you know? Consistency is important.
Yeah.
So, you know, those bigger guys, they got consistent quick. And then also the final one is networking. I mean, get to know the community. And you seem pretty good at that. But, like, PM people. Like, I'll PM bigger streamers and just ask, hey, any advice? Sometimes they don't respond. Sometimes they do. But it's that sort of thing where, you know, people recognize you, and going to other streams and then, you know, getting shout outs and stuff like that. That was something I really started doing because I saw other streamers doing it. So those are more ESO, I think, related growing, because I've talked to mostly ESO people. So
Right. No, that's good. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I guess lately I've just been really enjoying being a viewer and, like, trying to be supportive of the people that I really enjoy. Like,
dude, that's huge, man. That's huge. And that's awesome, because it helps you flip the view.
For sure. Yeah, that's what I don't know if we have time for it.
No, keep going. Keep going.
So what do you think about that? Like, as opposed to being a viewer? Because I've always thought about, okay, you know, sometimes I have all of this energy and motivation to put into something, and I just don't know what. And when I try and put it into streaming, you know, I hit these walls where it just, like I said earlier, it just, like, sucks the energy out of me, and I don't know, I'm putting myself out there, and it's hard. And, you know, maybe, so what does that mean? Am I hitting the walls that everyone else hit along the way? Or is it not for me? And so I've been thinking, like, okay, you know, I know my place is on Twitch because I love it. It's been my life since I got out of college. So I don't know, should I be a viewer or a content creator? Because you know what? A lot of people want to be content creators. Of course, that's been said many times.
Yep.
You know, the industry, I guess, is saturated with people that want to be
damn true
high up there. Okay, so those people need viewers that are supportive and with them and are there and love their content genuinely. And I could be like that person for many people that I really enjoy, that I love watching, that I'm there as often as I can. So I don't know, how can I accept that fact that I could never be the best, and so I just have to have as much fun as I can doing my best?
I think,
and then maybe
I think
you ever think about, like, that balance?
Yeah.
Because there are people. Yeah.
No. You're absolutely right. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm not a great viewer. I'm just not.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna own that. For me, you know, sometimes people say, when I tell people I stream, they go, so people like to watch you play games?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm low key like, I don't get it either. Like, I'm not. I don't know if I enjoy watching other people play games, but when I go to streams, it's very much to support a friend.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get asked a lot. Can you host this person? Can you host this person? Can you watch this person? And if I will, but if that person isn't someone I can make a personal connection with, I'm not really into watching. I'm not into just, like, watching a stream. I'm much more of a YouTube viewer. I like a 10-minute video where I can just watch and digest it. But when it comes to content creating, I thoroughly enjoy that. I thoroughly enjoy talking to other people. I thoroughly enjoy, I'm going to be being the center of attention. I know that sounds fucked up, but it's true. I think I'm more of a extrovert when it comes to the Twitch platform. So accepting being a viewer for me would take me finding another passion that I'm digging some effort into as well. For me I play instruments. I'm big into football, so maybe it'd be content creating in
Yeah.
that. There's other routes to content create, but just being a viewer is really, really hard for a lot of people who have done content creation. And I really, really applaud you, and it shows that you have a very genuine love for Twitch, where I don't think I have a genuine love for Twitch. I have a genuine love for my community, which is no better or worse. I'm just saying, what keeps me coming back, and it's not, I love Twitch. There's people I love on Twitch, and so to accept being, I think for you, it's just, what's the best mentally? I think that's the other question I ask myself a lot. Mental health is something that I've really started to focus on. And if your mental health if you feel better when you're just a viewer and you're part of a community and you're contributing, you can be a moderator, you can be a Discord moderator. There's so many different ways you can be interactive with a community. Like, I have people who are interactive with my community like that, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So, and helping someone else, I mean, I know as an okay streamer, I love bringing people in to help me on different things. I love having different moderators. I love having different people in chat. I love that stuff is important. So, I don't think there's any less importance to it. So it's hard. You just got to figure out, what makes you the happiest.
Yeah. And I think I'm getting there for sure. And there's something I was going to say.
I know I kind of went on a long tangent there.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Oh gosh,
dude, I hate when this happens. I know exactly how you feel. It sucks, and it's a pain in the butt.
This is the first podcast that I've ever been on, and I really appreciate it. I need to share a video with you that just gets me gassed up every time, and I'll share it on your Discord too,
yeah,
so
throw it in
know
there.
what I'm talking about. But it's about making podcasts and but like accepting the fact that like I can be a viewer, and that's important too, and being at an okay place mentally. Like, yeah, focusing on my mental health has been like the thing that I've been most obsessed with for years now.
Yep.
But that's not what I wanted to it's not it. I'm trying to remember.
No, it's all good. It's actually funny because I think that's a really good closing thought. It's I think content creation, viewership, a relationship with Twitch. Oh, go ahead. You got it?
Music.
Oh,
you're a musician, right?
I am.
I was thinking of this analogy. Thank you. You triggered it. It's
all right, good.
So you know how like playing an instrument kind of helps you appreciate music more?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you find that to be true?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What did you play?
I played guitar, bass, and drums.
Guitar, bass, and drums.
And I
play violin.
I wish I could sing, but I can't. I can in my car and in the shower.
You have a wonderful voice.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I appreciate I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about it in a similar way. Like, if I were to accept being a viewer and supporting my favorite people, the fact that I have tried out content creation kind of helps me appreciate what those people do more.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think the normal viewer looks at a Kev Do It and says, "Wow, he's awesome," and the creator looks at Kev Do It and goes, "Holy shit!" Like the dedication, and someone who's edited videos and then watches his, someone who streams and then watches his stream.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely a lot of appreciation there. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's something, and you don't. I think anything you do when you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, you appreciate it. And the longer you content create, the more you appreciate those people.
Definitely.
So, but
yeah, I agree.
We are at time, my man.
Okay.
We busted through this though. And
yeah.
I hope you enjoyed yourself, my dude.
I did.
I think when I have people on this podcast, there is no thought in what the content we're going to create is. I just like the person. So, with a lot of people, it's a lot of me kind of stroking them and telling them how great they are the whole time. And not that I haven't given you your fair stroking, but you were very vulnerable on the podcast, really opened up. And, I think the thing is, when you come back to content creating, if you do, the openness is important. And your openness tonight with struggling with some mental illness stuff, struggling with streaming, struggling with just figuring out life. Everyone's going through that. So it's a great, it's gonna sound fucked up, but it's a great tool to use, being open and being very vulnerable. I know for myself it took a little bit to shed that, but it's really good, and you did a great job tonight, and I appreciate it. Guys, I am gonna put Ettin's Twitter and Twitch in here, guys. He does stream sometimes, and he streams old school RuneScape when he does, and Apex Legends. So if you want to watch those, he's on Twitter, guys, and he's going to be on the Snowcast again for sure. Ettin, do not leave the call. I'm going to close the stream, but I'm going to keep you in the call, and we'll talk for a sec after. To everyone listening on Spotify, I appreciate it, guys. And everyone watching, too, there's actually going to be 2 more podcasts this week. We have Mac Attack on Thursday, and we have Arcaneer on Saturday morning, because his time schedule is very strange, being in a far-off country from us. Ettin,
oh, gosh.
Thanks again. Everyone have a great night. And I will see you all soon. Peace.
Take care of yourselves.